Hey, welcome back to Leafy Life. I'm Susie, and this channel is my space to share my love of houseplants.
In this house, I am tending to leafy life, reaching green and bending toward the light. Leafy life, this is my leafy life.
Alright then, so this is going to be a rather fun video all about a plant called a Calamondin or a Calamansi. It's a citrus plant, and I rather fall in love with them. A few months ago I didn't even know they existed, wouldn't have known what it was if you'd have mentioned it, and now I have three different ones from various places at various times. I did just buy a large variegated one, which you'll see me bringing back to the house, and yeah, it needs a bit of rehab, bit of care to get it through some stuff, and I have two other little young calamondins, and yeah, I'm just going to talk you through them all, and I've been learning a bit about how to care for them. I'm new to looking after citrus plants. It's happened rather just surprisingly from stumbling across a little plant cheaply in little months ago, and it's led me here so far. And yeah, I just have been falling in love with keeping citrus plants inside. It's rather fun. I love fruiting trees. Haven't had much luck with fruiting trees in the garden as yet, but there is still time with that. But yeah, it's really fun being able to bring fruiting trees into the house and let them just enhance my houseplant collection and my home in general. And oh, it's been so fun making Calamondin marmalade, I have to tell you. And yeah, I'm just going to get on with it and get it edited and show you what's been going on. It's a bit of a patchwork because I've just picked up the camera over the past few days as and when I've been doing these activities, just to bring you along with me and show you what I've been up to. So yeah, it's just been just grabbing the camera as and when. So I really hope you enjoy this video. I've really enjoyed every part of making it, and yeah, let's get going with that. So here is the lovely big new variegated Calamondin. So this is the amount of leaves that have come off today. I feel like I'm dealing with a very sulky ficus, but this is the Calamondin. I brought it home yesterday late afternoon. Its soil was like tan coloured. It was like really sandy, just bone dry, really yeah, just really rock solid and bone dry, like sand. And so I gave it a bottom watering in this pot. I filled it up to, I don't know, like a couple of inches of water last night, and then this morning when I looked at it, there was no water in the bottom, but the soil wasn't particularly moist still, so I've given it a top watering to just kind of filter down as well. These are thirsty plants, and I am concerned about the fact that it was sitting really dry. It's quite a nice big mature plant, and it's fruiting. It's just got quite a lot of new fruit developing from where the little buds have obviously recently produced flowers which have finished. So yeah, it's a plant that is absolutely gorgeous, full of potential, and hopefully can settle down and be okay and recover from what I'm assuming is just having been too thirsty, especially while it's fruiting. I did ask at the shop and they said that it had been in stock for a couple of weeks. There were a few others, and this one, they were all a similar kind of condition, but this one, I just like the shape of this one the most. The others were a bit more sort of drooping in shape. I just liked the kind of more full tree shape of this one. So yeah, I don't feel like the others were in any different condition. All of them were dropping leaves when I moved them around to look at, you know, the shape of them. I wasn't rough. I was very gentle and slow with any shifting that I did. But yeah, I've just given this a gentle shake from the trunk, and yeah, this is the amount of leaves that have rained down. And there were more than this yesterday. I was picking up leaves as soon as I got it home and in the car. So I know it's nothing I've done. But yeah, I'm hoping that what I have done is going to start help it recovering. I'm hoping that giving it a big drink is gonna really do it some good, and hopefully then it will hold on to the rest of its leaves and, you know, carry on with all its good stuff from then on. So I'll just keep an eye on it. I'm going to clear up all these leaves now, and then I'll know if it's continuing to drop any more when I'm not looking at it. It is a bit sad to see these lower branches completely bare, but they're not dead, as in the twigs themselves are not dead, so hopefully they'll spring back with some new growth when it's ready. Look, you can just see in there's more leaves just dangling, ready to fall as if it's autumn. I think there are a few more that are kind of loose, but I'm not going to shake it now to do that because one of the little fruits fell off earlier, and I don't want to dislodge anymore because these ones are not fully grown or ripened yet. These ones, that one actually feels ripe. It's got some give when I squeeze it, whereas the other ones are, yeah, rock solid. Look at those streaks. You can see it more on the unripe fruit. These lovely little stripes and streaks, but the ripe fruit is kind of subtly streaked as well. You can probably see it a bit better from the bottom there. And to varying degrees on each of them. There's so much. This could have a really big harvest if it's able to push through and be healthy, because it's obviously recently flowered. I saw, where was it? There were a few like dried petals just at the top of one of the stems just now, but you can see where it's recently flowered, all of these little starry shapes, which can each become a fruit, as you can see developing here. So there we go, developing into fruit there. Tiny little spheres of goodness. Yeah, I just love this plant. I really do. I think it's adorable. Oh look, that one's starting to go yellow there. Hee. So partly it wasn't a cheap plant. It was £60, and that is definitely by far the most I've ever spent on one plant. I don't think it's overpriced. I think that's a fine price for, you know, basically a fruit tree that is mature and beautiful, and it's variegated, so yeah, it's a little bit different, but I don't want to have wasted money on a plant that doesn't survive or thrive, obviously, but also I'm rather attached to it. I think it's gorgeous, and I have high hopes for it, and I want it to stay because I really like it. Yeah, and I want it to be healthy. I want it to be happy and healthy, and to keep on growing well. So I really hope that it will pick up after this watering now. So just while I'm clearing up this massive leaves, I thought I would update you. The next day I did phone the garden centre and speak to a really knowledgeable and experienced guy who was able to just reassure me that there's nothing else I need to be doing except the watering and the waiting. Yeah, it's just a common feature of citrus trees that when they are in drought conditions, they just drop a lot of leaves and fruit. Look at these tiny fruits. They're just so full of potential, and it's really sad that they'll never come to harvest, but it's just the way it is, and you know, it will recover and it will put out many future harvests. So it's just the way it is right now. It was good to just hear that from someone else and know that my gut instinct was correct, and there's nothing else bad going on with the tree. You know, it's not ill, it's just been thirsty, and yeah, so it will pick up eventually. So yeah, obviously these are not rescuable. They're so young and tiny that they couldn't mature into a fruit off the tree. But my daughter, who is 3, loves tiny things, and she can play with these for her dolls or animals or whatever she wants to do with them without them like hurting her. I'll leave some bits and bobs out for her and she can decide what she wants to do. Oh my gosh. Look at that. You can see the tiny little seeds in the segments already. It smells amazing. Just so citrusy and fresh and zingy. It smells like our home smells when we make marmalade, and yeah, it's a really cozy feeling. They're so cute. Imagine that on like a doll's drink sliced. They're so tiny. So that's actually one of the larger ones. I've just cut into one of the even smaller ones. Oh, it's so hard to hold. You can see the size of my fingers. I feel like a giant. I wouldn't normally give you such a grotesque close-up of my fingers and their grotty nails from soil-related tasks, but I just want to give you a sense of scale. Look at that. Can I focus on it for you? Okay. Teeny. Here is my little original plain dark green Calamondin, the first that I ever discovered. It's actually ready to harvest, so I'm about to pick off all the ripe fruit to make some marmalade, which is very exciting. So you can snip the fruit off just above where it joins the stem. If you're very careful, you can twist it off so that not too much of the skin stays on the stem. Yeah, so it's up to you really how you want to do that. In hindsight, I'd probably just do a little snip, just because it's a bit less messy and yeah, doesn't sort of break into the skin so much. But yeah, don't they look gorgeous? They're just it was so beautiful having these on the windowsill during December, during the depths of winter, when it was all rather grey and dark. Yeah, to have this extra sort of burst of sunshine was really, really glorious. And once I'd harvested them, I did then miss seeing them on the plant, but never mind. I just really wanted to make the most of them and not leave them to rot on the plant, obviously. So this plant, as I think I mentioned before, I got in Lidl. I think it was back in the spring. It's definitely before the middle of summer, because I know I've had it for quite a few months. I repotted it soon after buying it. It just seemed very thirsty, as I now know citrus plants are very thirsty, and the soil it was in, it just didn't seem happy. And it was also very leggy, so I decided to give it a prune. I didn't know anything about these plants at the time. I'd never heard of them before. I didn't know what they were like and what they needed, and I kind of just launched straight into pruning it because I felt like visually it needed it. I could have, in hindsight, kept the prunings and maybe done something with them, but I didn't, so never mind. But it did kind of make the plant itself into a more bushy and attractive plant, and I think it did it some good actually, because it did then flower again really prolifically, and it then started fruiting again. So that was actually the second harvest of fruit since I bought it. So yeah, I felt like that was pretty good going. Obviously it was a smaller plant, so it wasn't a massive harvest, but I felt like it was enough to do a very small batch of marmalade in a very small saucepan. And then when I actually got this this new big variegated Calamondin as well, that had some fruit that was ripe as well, so that kind of just beefed out the quantities a little bit. So this new large variegated Calamondin is still in recovery mode. It has dropped a couple more leaves today, which I've picked up, so they're not visible. I'd forgotten it had some fruit that actually is ripe and ready, so my son's going to pick that for me now. Thanks, darling. Uh-oh, it's dropping leaves again. Hopefully one day it will stop dropping leaves.
I hope.
Okay.
Oh,
don't worry about the stalk. I can get that in a sec when I wash them.
you can always
Looks
use
like a little
spoon and
pumpkin.
poke it under there.
Good twisting. Twist and pull. Well done. So unfortunately, even just dislodging those few fruits has made the tree drop a lot more leaves, which is sad to see, and some more baby fruit has got dislodged as well. So yeah, it's not over yet for this beautiful Calamondin. So just giving it some time and space and hoping that it will pick up. About 100, so there's 10,000, 100,000, and then 1,000,000 is a million. Well, thank you. just a little insert from a few weeks after that. In early January. This is the finished jar of marmalade. We have also got 2 tiny jars, as you saw in the video. And yeah, we've been eating our way through this one. We've been kind of savouring it. It's not a lot because the actual harvest was very small, but it was also an experiment with you know, trying a different type of fruit for marmalade, and it was really good to have a small amount to test like that and make sure that the just the recipe and the ratio of everything worked, and it was perfect. It couldn't have gone better. It was so easy. It was actually really nice to do a small batch of marmalade for a change, because normally when I do Seville orange marmalade, I do enough for the year and we get through quite a lot of marmalade. So as an example, that's one that's on the go at the moment. So yeah, we have that on a daily basis, and so that requires quite a lot of prep and cooking time, and yeah, it's all quite a big task at the beginning of the year. So I will be getting some Sevilles soon. There are actually some in our local farm shop now, which is really, really exciting, but I don't want to buy them right now because once I've bought them, I will need to crack on and make it soon. And I know that I'm quite busy for a kind of a week or two. So also, I find that the season for Sevilles goes on for a few weeks, and I find that sometimes it's better just to hang back a bit and just see what comes in next, because as they restock, sometimes the fruit appears nicer, like it's a bit riper, a bit kind of softer skinned and easier to work with, and a nicer marmalade in the end. So yeah, it's so lovely seeing the first Sevilles in the shops now. But yeah, I'm just gonna hang back for a bit and get some soon. But yeah, the marmalade, the Calamondin marmalade, just went so well. It was really easy. The skins were really soft and easy to cut, and it just worked out really well. I'd googled around recipes a bit about sort of ratios, how much sugar to how much fruit and that sort of thing. With jam, I tend to do slightly less sugar than people say because I prefer tangy jam. But yeah, I thought as it was a new thing, I would go exactly with what seems to be the general consensus, and that seems to be equal fruit to sugar. I actually found it is a very, very tangy marmalade, more so than even the Seville orange marmalade. Yeah, really tangy, but really amazing. Hence that we've just been savouring it because it's kind of like it's like liquid gold, because it is just kind of one little jar really. And the kids love it. The day I made it, they sat with a little egg cup full of it and just ate it from the spoon. Actually, I refilled that for them, so they had a lot of vitamin C that day and sugar. But yeah, it was a real success, and I will just quickly talk you through it now, but I'll also put it in the description box, just so that you've got there's not really much to it, but just so that you've got my I don't know why I came down here. It's a bit of an ugly background with the laundry, but it's so that I can just rest myself on the counter because it's comfy. Yeah, it is just a really simple recipe, not a lot to it, but I know it can help for a lot of people to have it written down rather than having to go through a whole video again to kind of make your own notes while I'm talking and jabbering away. But basically, yeah, it was the pips were left out. You don't need to do anything with the pips at all. They don't go into the marmalade or have to be fished out later. They're just not part of the recipe. And then it's just equal parts of fruit to sugar, so it's the pulp and the skin, the peel, and the juice all in the pan, and yeah, so that's what you're matching with the sugar for the weight. And it's just really a case of snipping up the peel into whatever thicknesses you like. I went with quite thin, and it's turned out really really nice, and like really narrow little strands actually. If you can see, like it softened really well and really quickly. Because it's such a small batch and small saucepan, it did all soften up really quickly, and it boiled up really quickly, and I was worried that it wouldn't soften enough during that cooking time, so I was a bit sort of cautious about like testing that and making sure it was nice, and it was fine. It, yeah, just really well. The nature of the Calamondin skins was that it was really like really instant marmalade. Amazing, very satisfying. Anyway, I have whittled on quite a lot, so I'm going to get on to the next bit with you. But I just wanted to show you the end result of the marmalade, and just enthuse wildly about it, to let you know that if you have a Calamondin tree, or you can access Calamondin fruits, or you want to get into this, that it is really satisfying, really delicious, really fun and easy, and just a lovely thing to do, and it creates a gorgeous smell in your house while you're cooking it. So yeah, and yeah, so go for it if you feel like you want to. Yeah, back on with what I was doing. Hello. Alright, it is currently halfway through Christmas Eve and the kids are busy with their own little projects and enjoying some hot chocolate, so I'm just going to take a moment of my own to pot up some Calamondin pips, saved back from when I made the marmalade a couple of days ago, and just want to get on with those. I've been soaking them in water and I don't want to leave them for too long, so yeah, I don't want them to get ruined, so I'm just cracking on with that now. It won't take long, but I just want to get it done. I've just set up this little potting station here at my draining board because I just don't feel like being at the table right now. It's all a bit hot chocolatey over there. This needs to go in the wash anyway, so yeah. This is where I've been soaking some, well, all the Calamondin pips from the other day. The plan was that I would just soak them in water for like, I don't know, a few hours or overnight, but then I got distracted and busy, as is often the way, and they have been there for like well, a whole day, and then I realised, tipped out the water and thought, oh, I'll just give them some clean water and then I'll do that shortly. That was like yesterday. And now it's kind of like heading towards past lunchtime and I still haven't taken them out of this water. So I've come to get on with planting now. So I'm just going to drain those out. It has obviously done the job I wanted it to do, which was to soften like the outer kind of skin of the pip. And you can see in there, there's one that's actually like really opening out. So yeah, they need to get in the soil so they can do their business. Obviously it's winter and not like the most perfect time to plant seeds and for things to germinate, but this is when I've got the pips. The fruit was ripe, so I was using it, and this is just a byproduct of that. So I just want to take the chance to yeah, give these pips a try and see if I can get them to germinate and see how long it takes, see how easy it is. I do still have the Calamondin trees and they are still going to produce more fruit, so I can always try again with future pips that emerge. But there are a lot here. I was going to put a few in several like seed trays or pots, but I do find that when they then germinate, I find that quite a faffy job to then pot them on. So as I do have quite a rich supply of these tiny pots right now, I'm actually just going to pop like a couple in each pot just in case, you know, I don't know if all of them will succeed or not. So it just makes it a little bit easier for me when they've started turning into little seedlings, that I don't have to do quite so much potting on, because I find that hard to get around to. So yeah, hopefully they can then just stay in these pots until they need to be in a bigger pot and I can like give them away or whatever. So yeah, gonna get on with that. I've got some just normal standard houseplant soil here, and I'm not going to add anything into it because I'm out of perlite. I've just ordered some more today, but I have found that with little seedlings and little pots, they dry out very quickly, and when I add perlite or anything else, I find that they just need watering so often that I can't keep up with it, and then the little tender shoots tend to suffer as a result if I don't get to them soon enough. So this just means that they should retain a little bit more moisture in between waterings. So yeah, that's what I'm using. Also, I've temporarily misplaced my little tripod, so I'm having to do things a bit more one-handed. Still some in there. That's fine. I'm just going to give these another little rinse out. Just in case there's like any residual sticky stuff from the fruit juice that surrounded them. I have given them a wash, but not yet. Yeah, nice and fresh. other Calamondin ready to show you, and I was looking at the leaves thinking, you're not very happy, are you? What's going on with you? And I was just looking at the surface of the leaves, the top of the leaves, and thinking, oh, you've got spider mites, haven't you? And before I turned to the underside of the leaves, I was thinking to myself, oh, isn't it great that, you know, just by looking without even seeing a pest, isn't it great that I now know, or I now feel quite confident that I know what is going on with the plant before I've even actually discovered the truth. And it was like small comfort, like, because when I then did turn over the leaf, I was like, yes, you do have a lot of spider mites, don't you? So I am now dealing with spider mites in the bathroom. I brought this plant straight upstairs. It really does have quite a few spider mites, probably more than I've seen on a plant before. So I'm just getting it in the shower, in the bath, in the shower, and I feel like I've spent a lot of time in the shower with my plants lately, just dealing with different bugs. So I wanted to include this, partly just to be real with you guys. I am dealing with pests from time to time, in fact quite a lot at the moment, and so that you wouldn't feel alone if you are also feeling really peeved with pets. You know, it does take up time and energy and brain space, and it's very easy to procrastinate about it and think, oh, I'll deal with that later. But I am just stopping what I'm doing, giving myself the reward that after I've done this, I'm going to go do some Pilates, which I've been meaning to do most of the day, and things keep happening. I keep seeing other jobs to do. So I'm going to shower this off and give it some horticultural soap spray bottle, and yeah, then that job will be done. But yeah, I just wanted to reassure you that you're not the only one dealing with this, and that it is very common, and it's just part of looking after houseplants. It is a bit annoying, but yeah, it should be a quick job. It's just the one. I did check all the plants next to it, and they don't seem to be affected, so I'll be keeping a close eye on those. But let's just show you the plant. So here it is. Yeah, I'll be keeping a close eye on the others, and I'll probably just keep this in here for today, and then take it back down to the dining room windowsill where it's living. I've made that into a kind of little citrus plant haven at the moment, which is nice. But yeah, just by looking at the tops of the leaves, I just thought, oh, something's not right. You're looking a bit patchy, a bit greeny. So let's see if my camera can focus on the spider mites to show you. Let's have a look. Yeah, all those dots, those are all spider mites. Blah. So that's just on one leaf, and there are many others like it, I believe. Can't focus. Yeah, there you go. So that dark spot is a little spider mite. When I've treated anything for spider mites, and I then go back to check for spider mites, you know, a few days or a week later, if there are spider mites on it, it's just good to check if they're alive or dead, because it might be that they've already been dealt with and they're just sitting there and can be washed off. So I always just nudge it with my thumbnail to see if it gets it crawling or whether it stays still. As I was doing the showering off, that instead of seeing this as like a tiring task, I just want to like make the most of it, and I just suddenly thought, hey, hold on, I could be listening to music, which is just a joy in itself. So yeah, gonna get some music started. I've got my daughter's little step stool, so I can actually sit on that by the edge of the bath and actually just like zone into this as a more relaxing thing to be doing, and just go slowly instead of trying to hurry through it to get it done. Actually enjoy it. I mean, I love water. I love kind of just, it's really nice to just give the plant a bit of care. So just decided to switch my attitude about it a bit, and yeah, so that's really cool. So that's what I'm doing. had a thorough spray and just leaving it for a bit like that. A few bits of soil and substrate did fall out in the bath, but I can just scoop it up and put that back in the pot and put it in its cover pot, and I think I'll leave it in here for the rest of the day to kind of just drip dry and then take it back downstairs with the others. Yeah, so that happened quite quickly, the infestation. I'm sure it didn't have any signs of that when I was picking the fruit over Christmas holidays, but maybe I just wasn't noticing. I was quite busy and distracted with the kids, so never mind, I've got it now, so hooray, that job is done. I can go and do some Pilates and loosen up and Hello, I'm here at the dining room windowsill, which is where I keep all of my littlest citrus trees. So I'm going to show you those in a bit more detail and talk you through them. So here is the Calamondin that you just saw me dealing with in the shower. So that's back in place now. And this one is the other plain Calamondin, exactly the same type, but it's just been treated a bit differently. It came with a little trellis. I've actually been slowly unwinding the branches from the grippy bits, because I think you can see one in there. They're quite tight metal lengths of metal that have been coiled around quite tightly, and it seemed like it was actually damaging the plant, like it was kind of restricting where the leaves could be, like that's kind of tucked the leaf in with it, and there were some leaves that were dropping out. I've just removed one actually there, but yeah, when I first brought it home a couple of weeks ago, actually longer than that, maybe about a month ago, I just kind of loosened and took off some of those metal rings and let the branches kind of come out a bit more, and if they need support, I'll give them support, but I just didn't like them being so tightly grabbed and damaged. It felt like it was stopping, because they were woven in so tightly, it felt like it was stopping a lot of light getting into the leaves, and yeah, so they were all really shaded. It just felt like it was stopping it being as healthy as it could be. So there's that one. It does have a little fruit on there, which is nice. So yeah, we'll see that one getting bigger and ripening sometime. And then these two, here and here, are actually kumquats. So they came home with me a couple of weeks ago now, I think. They came from a local garden centre, and they were impulse purchases, but I was looking out for more citrus trees and they seemed like a good price. They seemed really healthy. They didn't come in those pots, but I just happened to have those two that kind of match. They're not identical patterns, but they're the same size and shape and colour. So they look really nicely. They look really nice there. And yeah, they're a Nagara kumquat. I didn't realise there were different varieties of kumquat. They're also called the oblong or raindrop kumquat. So I'm just going to get in close for you. There we go. Give you a nice look at the close-up fruit. They're really shiny and very sort of dimpled. None of them show any signs of ripening yet, but they'll just take their time. They're in a really nice bright spot here, and the Calamondin did ripen here really easily, so that's good. But yeah, you can see it's kind of like a balloon shape, narrow at the top. So another thing about the Nagara kumquat is they don't need quite as much moisture as some citrus trees. So that's just something to look out for, and need to make sure that I don't sort of overwater them, because they just don't need it quite as much as the Calamondin. The Calamondin are very thirsty. I feel like whenever I'm going past and I put my finger in their soil, it's like, oh, you're thirsty again. They could just drink gallons, it seems like. A bit like the parrot plant over there, very, very thirsty. So this is a windowsill that I frequent a lot, to just make sure everything's happy. I think it's partly because they are just thirsty plants, and partly because they're in a bright spot. It doesn't get like severe direct sun, but it's always pretty bright on this windowsill. But yeah, the Calamondin is very, very thirsty, and so I just don't need to give the kumquats quite as much water as those. So it does feel really nice to have a bit of a collection of citrus trees now, and I will continue to research and learn about them to give them the best care that I can, and pass that on to you whenever I can, and let you know how they're all doing. I did also get some citrus feed, which I've not had before. So I think particularly because they are growing, they are currently bearing fruit, they will need some sort of feeding. So I just grabbed some citrus feed, and I'll have a look at the directions for that and include that, or include a little bit of it gradually in the following waterings soon. But yeah, I'm just really, really delighted with this lot. So one more little citrusy update right now is that the large variegated Calamondin that you saw me harvesting for the marmalade over the winter holidays, that was over 2 weeks ago that I did that, and the fruit that was tiny, or well, not the tiny dots of fruit, but the smaller fruit, is definitely growing. These are definitely bigger than they were the other day. So yeah, they're kind of getting towards full size, and definitely going yellower as well. So that's really, really cool. So might be able to do another little tiny batch of Calamondin marmalade soon. Yeah, it will just be a tiny batch because, as you know, this dropped a lot of its teeny tiny fruit, which I continue to slightly mourn over, but have accepted that that's just the way it is. But yeah, we'll see what it does next spring in terms of putting out some lovely blossom. That'll be really nice to see happen, because I haven't seen this one in flower before. The dark green one has got lots of little white flowers when it's in blossom, so yeah, they are really pretty. Well, I think that is everything Calamondin-y, citrusy to share with you at the moment, but I will keep you updated on how the plants are doing, and just anything that I pick up along the way about citrus care, because I'm new to it. So if you have anything to add or correct or ask, just pop it in the comments below and we can all learn together. And yeah, if the pips do germinate, I will certainly let you know. I will let you know if they don't as well. But there might be some things that I did that weren't perfect for that. So we'll just see how it goes. If anything germinates, I will show you how it's doing. And I did plant over 60. Yeah, had over 60 pips. So if they take off, if I get more than 1 or 2, then I will definitely be ready to share some with the wider world. There's no way I can keep 60 Calamondin trees. Even outside, I don't think they would like that. It's not the right climate, and I would definitely have to bring them into the house for part of the year, which they would not fit. Anyway, yes, so there we go. Thank you so much for joining me for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it, and if so, please give it a thumbs up and like and share and follow, and please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you next time. Bye.